All right. I'm not going to get started on the lesson yet, but I do want to, let's see, I'll make some notes here. Trying to make some notes that you can't see so I can remember to bring them up. Okay, don't need, well, I am going to need that, so I'm going to keep that up. All right. Make it bigger so I can see it. How's everyone doing? Whew, okay. Winding down here. Was out of town this weekend. Was in Napa. I've never been to Napa. I've never been north of San Francisco. I mean, I've been to Portland, Seattle, and Vancouver, but within California. Now I want to take a trip up there. Thinking that maybe we fly up to Sacramento, which is kind of in a nice area, because if you go west, you get to like Napa Valley and Sonoma Valley, and if you go east, you start heading towards Tahoe, and Auburn is really beautiful. I'd like my wife to see Auburn, so I'm gonna try to set up a little. Maybe we'll do a California driving tour, Northern California driving tour, later this summer. Won't be cool. It'll probably be hot, but hey, John, why? What's going on? You have been gone a while. That's all right. You had hand surgery. Oh no. Oh great. What colleges did you go to for your son? Is he going into dentistry? The French Laundry. Well, no. However, I had dinner with Thomas Keller. Believe it or not. And Charlie Palmer. If you're a New York restaurant fan, you'll know who Charlie Palmer is. Yeah. Well, actually, we did eat at Addendum, which is part of Ad Hoc, which is a Thomas Keller restaurant. We ate there Friday night. So my son, Jack, not Alex. Alex got married 18, 19 days ago. Jack got married this weekend. So we had 2 weddings in 3 weeks. And this one was fairly chill because we were able to just kind of, we weren't really helping out at all. We were just there, and which was great. And you know, kind of honored, which is not, you know, when you're the parent of the groom and you know, it's a happy event, they tend to treat you well. So, oh, Notre Dame. Okay, I was born across the street from Notre Dame. UVA, is that University of Virginia? No. UVA, there's Georgetown. Okay. Chicago. Smart. Oh. Okay, John. Yes, University of Chicago is a great school, and especially a great school to study economics because they're interested in truth. So, oh, University of Virginia. Okay, wait, there's a U. I was thinking like UVT, or I don't know, Technical Virginia. I don't know. Like there's Texas Tech, which when I hear Texas Tech, I think it's like a technical school like Ivy Tech, but it's not. It's probably a lot like Cal Poly Pomona and Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, where it's really for engineers or something. So largely hands-on. The Kellogg family donated the money for both Cal Poly Pomona and Cal Poly SLO, and they wanted them to be a kind of a hands-on college. So instead of just book learning, they wanted students to actually get their hands on things and build and figure it out. So, yeah, so the bride's father has been president of the CIA for 23 years, I think. I can't remember. He's almost done. He's getting ready to retire. And the CIA is the Culinary Institute of America. It's a very, very good culinary school. And it's a very good culinary school, and he's friends with Thomas Keller, very good friends with Thomas Keller, very good friends with Charlie Palmer, who owns like Charlie Palmer Steakhouses in New York. And I met Charlie, I'm sure, but I didn't make the connection when I met him. You know, it's a wedding, and there's a couple hundred people there, and I've got my family and friends there, some, and then there's a lot of new people that I didn't know and met, but it was well, and the wedding was at the CIA in Copia in Napa, and so and I don't think they normally do weddings, although it's an amazing venue for that. But the food was, of course, phenomenal. Desserts, everything was just like off the charts, and it's hard because, you know, I mean, we had steak, and when I got the steak, it was warm. It wasn't hot, and it's just like, this is no way you're going to be able to deliver a hot steak to 200 people at the same time. It's just not going to happen. But there was food, just food nonstop. I mean, hors d'oeuvres, and I mean, amazing hors d'oeuvres, and amazing. And then they were making pizza. So there was, so on Friday, what was it? There was the rehearsal, which we didn't get up there in time to be part of, but all I had to do was walk Beth down the aisle, you know, and sit down. That was all we had to do. Let me see if I can grab a picture to post. Let me see. Desktop here. There was a really nice, sweet picture taken of Beth and I. But the dinner, the rehearsal dinner at the Thomas Keller restaurant was like braised ribs and fried chicken. Like, that's his specialty at this restaurant. Okay. So I think, where are we? Here we go. Sorry, folks. I'm just catching all up on the weekend stuff. I think my daughter took this picture, and wait, will it go in here? Doesn't seem to want to. Is it too big? It may be too big. Let me duplicate it and make it smaller. Adjust size. What is it? Oh yeah, don't need it that high. Is it? Go 12? Yeah, sure. All right. Much smaller. Let's see if it goes in now. No, still doesn't want to go in. All right, let me see if I can add it this way. Add media source, scene, image. There we go. Okay. Browse, desktop, sorry. There we go. So there's Beth and I. Get to see the back of my head finally. And there's the wedding party. Isn't that sweet? Aw. And we're just taking it all in. So yeah, it was great. We had a great time. Sawyer's amazing. We love her to death. All of our kids have chosen very wisely, which we're so happy for. Literally, Jack's 30 years old. We've been praying for 30 years for that, for him to make the right decision. So, yeah, I'm glad to have you back, John. Really appreciate it. Dennis, good to see you. Holly. Yeah, I was just telling people we were up in Napa this weekend for our son's wedding. And this is in the kind of this picture is the kind of the amphitheater for the Copia. So this is at the CIA school Copia. And the food, of course, the food was amazing. Oh, holy cow. Didn't drink very much. I had a little bit of wine. I mean, pretty much that's all I had. I didn't have, I mean, they were handing out drinks. They had special drinks made up. They were going around delivering, you know, so some people had a couple just an hour. But not me. I have one drink and I get a horrible headache. It's like, just, I hate it. Oh, I didn't change the lesson. You're right. Let me change the lesson. Oh, where's the okay, sorry, you're right. Let me put that in there, huh? Normally it says lesson, but last week I didn't put lesson. So thank you. Is that right, Bruce? Or Bob? Oh, 358? Okay. Lesson. I'm not going to put number 350. I'm just going to put 358. It does something weird if I put the hashtag, the number sign there. Okay. All right. Lesson 358. Thank you. And we are going to get to a lesson here. I'm just catching up on everything. But yeah, it was. So when your son marries the daughter of the president of the premier cooking school in the world, you're going to have some amazing food, amazing hors d'oeuvres, amazing desserts. Oh my gosh. We ate, and it was just 2 days of just nonstop eating. It was phenomenal. It was really, really great. And Thomas Keller was great. He was a super nice guy. We had a good conversation. I mean, he was sitting right across from me at the table. It was like these long, skinny tables. And the Ryans were sitting across from us, and then he was sitting next to Tim, Dr. Tim. And I asked him, I said, "What's your guilty pleasure?" And I kind of already knew the answer to this before he told me. He said In-N-Out. And he loves the crunchy fries, so that you can when you go to In-N-Out, you can ask for your fries to be fried twice fried fries, so they're crunchy, almost like potato sticks. Remember those cans of potato sticks you would get back when you were a kid? Those things, I love the taste of those. And to me, In-N-Out French fries taste like potato sticks. They taste like, and they literally take a potato and go chunk, and it's in the fryer, and they don't fry the potato, they don't slice the potato until right before they fry it for you. It's crazy. And so I still like McDonald's fries better. And Thomas Keller, I told him that, and he goes, I said, "Why do I like them so much?" He goes, "Because they add sugar." And I go, "Well, that makes sense." So that's what's in, the thing that makes you really like, lesson number should be 348. Okay, let me change that. Hold on. Thank you. Not paying attention to this stuff. Thank you, Bruce. Yeah, and Bruce is going to make me a footrest, a wooden one. And I always have my foot on a footrest here because actually my chair is pretty high right now. I've tried to set it up so that I'm looking down on everything, not looking up, because I have a pinched nerve in my neck that if I trigger it, it makes my hand go numb, which is not good. I can still play, but I do lose some sensitivity and I lose a little bit of just feel from not having any feeling. So I try not to pinch that nerve. So I kind of have my monitor set low. I have my actually the funny thing is I have two monitors, as you know. You've seen them on the videos. And they're resting on glass pie plates because they were just the exact right height for the monitors, and they're round. The bases of the monitors have a round base on them, and they're perfect size for a pie plate. So I bought two brand new pie plates to put down there. So it's kind of funny. It almost looks like there's some kind of glass buffer of some kind, to cut back on electrical shocks or something, but it's not. It has nothing to do with it. But John, the other thing about Chicago is nice. It's fairly close because you're in Louisville, and you can drive up. You have to go through Indianapolis. Sorry about that. That's my hometown. Sorry. That's why I'm apologizing for my hometown. But you're pretty much going to have to go through Indianapolis to get to Chicago back. But so what I want to talk about a little bit as kind of a study here. I mean, we talked about two chord vamps. We talked about A7 to D7, very common 1/4 kind of R&B thing. You make me wanna shout. That would be shout's just 1 and 6. Knock on wood, I think is 1 and 4. like to dig in too hard. But that was A7 to D7. Well, we're going to do A minor 7 to D7, which A7 to D7 are not in the same key. They're both dominant 5 chords, and A7 is the 5 of the key of D, and D7 is the 5 in the key of G. So you're technically, when you're going back and forth between those two chords, we were going back and forth between two different keys. Not so with this A minor 7 to D7 vamp. What we're basically playing here is the 2 chord to the 5 chord in the key of G, and it never resolves to G. Normally, like in a bebop thing, you might, kind of bop around like that. And so I'm going A minor 7, D7, G major 7 to E7, which sets up E7's the dominant, is the dominant 5 of that A minor. Every chord has a 5 chord. The only one where it's kind of a little weird, as we've talked about it in the past, is the Locrian mode, which like is, and the 5 of that E note is a tritone, so it's not really a very strong 5. There's no strong 5 thing going on there. In fact, it's a major 7 chord going to a kind of E diminished. It's almost zero resolution emotion there. So, but that's a whole nother tangent. Okay, so the A Dorian scale, which is basically the G major scale, okay, is so basically a G major scale starting on the A note. But I want you to think of it as an A Dorian scale if you can. Don't just think of it as a G major scale starting on G, because if you do that, you're likely to maybe gravitate towards finger memory that will make you land on a G because it's the root. And it's like G is not a very good note over the D chord, particularly. In fact, we're going to address that. And then it's okay over the A, but it wants to go to A. So if I'm playing over this vamp, and I play a G major scale, I don't really have fear that he's going to be watching this live stream, but I played in a band back in Indiana, and the sax player was a really good player, but he was more classically and trained, and he didn't ever really learn to solo. And so if a song was like a vamp like that, he would kind of do that. He was like, if we were vamping over, then he had to solo over like an A minor 7 to D7. He'd go, okay, well, that's basically 2, 5, and G, so I'm just going to play in G. And his solos always were like, The keyboard player and I would kind of look at each other like, what's he thinking? Just play A blues. It's like, everything will sound good if you just play the blues. Almost always works. When in doubt, go to the blues. And in a vamp like this, it would be, A blues. That's very David T. Walker. And the A is in both of those chords, right? You have the root of the A minor is A, and the 5th of the D is A. So it's going to be a good landing note. So yeah, you can always default to the blues if you're like a little bit like, where am I now? And obviously if the changes are going, you might have a little bit of trouble just defaulting to some one blues key, because if the changes are going crazy on a bebop song, then obviously you're going to have to be paying attention to the changes, or the tonal or the key centers for the moment that it's there. We should talk about giant steps. I can't solo over giant steps. I mean, I can kind of. I need to practice it. And it's kind of one of those things where if I really want to get okay at giant steps, first off, you have to totally memorize the chord progression for something like that. And you would think I would have it memorized by now, but I do. I mean, I can. What's this? I can play through it like that. But it's like if you want me to like, okay, we're B flat, It's just, I'm just like, oh, I get so lost in that stupid song. Anyway, maybe we'll do a lesson on that. We've done it before where I've done lessons that for things I want to learn. Because I love learning stuff. I'm not very good at learning stuff, but I love to learn new things. I'm so glad I'm back to coffee. The reason I couldn't drink coffee, if you're wondering, like you care, I was taking Sudafed, and I didn't realize there was an interaction with caffeine in Sudafed. Sudafed's like, I guess, some kind of like hyper caffeine, or has something that interacts with caffeine. And so I was getting this weird, not like I was having a heart attack or anything. I took my blood pressure and all that stuff. Everything was good. It was this really weird, anxious feeling, and my hands were shaky. I'm like, what is going on? And I didn't feel good. So I stopped drinking coffee, and I felt better. I was like, wait, that works. But dang it. So now that I'm not taking Sudafed, my sinus thing, though, is still there. I still got this weird, Dr. John, you might be able to, I actually, I didn't talk to my dentist about it. I went to an ear, nose, and throat guy, and they did a CT scan and just found there's fluid in my sinuses. And I think it's allergic. And now I'm thinking it's allergy because I go to Napa for 2 days. Not an issue. But right now, I feel this little bit of pressure in there. I feel fluid in there. If I lay down, I can hear the fluid move. They put me on antibiotics a couple different times, and it didn't go away. It went away for a minute, but then it came right back. So, sorry, getting all these stupid notifications I don't need. All right. So, I do not have sleep apnea. Oh, really? A CPAP? Well, maybe I do. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really having any postnasal drip. It's just this thing behind my sinuses. I can feel this little bit of pressure. It's not really bad. I don't think I have sleep apnea. Is that when you stop breathing? I know Beth's brother is on a CPAP machine. But he's a big guy. So, okay, it is, okay. Yeah, allergies have been off the hook because we had so much rain. We had more rain than we've had in a long time. All our reservoirs are at 100% filled now in California. So it's like, we got all this rain. And, yeah, the pollen is nuts right now, yeah. Yeah, so I don't remember ever being allergic to anything. I don't remember ever having allergies. Basically didn't start until we moved to this house. I don't think there's black mold. We had an inspection done, and the house is an old house. It's wood framed. It's hot here, so the mold thing is unlikely. It gets hot here, so mold is less likely. It's whatchamacallit, real walls. What's that called? I can't think of it. Anyway, but maybe get a dehumidifier. Maybe that's not a bad idea. Although it's not very humid here. I have a humidifier, but I don't even run that very often. I should. Drywall. Thank you, Sam. We have real drywall, so plaster drywall. So it's like that breathes more than the plastic walls they start doing in the 80s, or the compound that they used that was like they would trap moisture in and they would cut it open and it'd be black with mold. It's like crazy stuff. We had friends that had to have entire house redone because of that out here in California. But but our house is older. It's got a lot of, HEPA air filter. Maybe that may not be a bad idea, Bruce. Maybe I pick up something like that, put it in the bedroom. Because it's when I wake up in the morning that I really notice it. I've decided to stop letting the cat sleep on our bed, which I just decided today. So just in case it's that. But I rub my face in that cat all the time, and where is she? And it doesn't affect me like it does. All our daughters-in-law both are allergic to cats. They can't even touch a cat. It's crazy. Please teach backpack solo. You play for just backpack solo. Backpack. I don't know. What did I play on backpack? It says I played on backpack. I don't remember. If I listen, let's see. Okay, I'm going to mute this real quick.
The Cantina Chicken Burrito isn't just for late night.
Sorry, it's a long video, long form ad. Sorry. All right, here it goes. Let me see if I remember this. That's not me. I don't know who that is. I don't think. Hold on one more second. Well, I can, if it makes me. Yeah, that's not me. I don't know who that was. That's funny because that's before Andrew Watt. That doesn't sound anything like Andrew Watt. Sorry, that wasn't me. For skipping ads. Oh, yeah, I could do that. The thing is, I make money from the ads, so I hate to do that to other YouTubers. I have ad block, I think, but I turn it off usually just because it's the economy. I don't mind ads. I don't want to get everything completely for free. There's no such thing as getting anything for free. So what I wanted to talk about on this, soloing over this. Okay, so let's go over the A Dorian scale. I'm just going to show you maybe a couple of different positions, and mainly we'll be in the fifth position, bottom string 5, 7, 8, and then 5, 7, and then we're going to move down a fret and go 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, up a fret, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8. Don't worry, I'm going to go over this again. So it's 5, 7, 8 on the bottom and 5, 7, 8 on top. Okay, and that's ABC. ABC, 1, 2, 3. And then we have, exactly, there's no such thing as a free lunch. You know what? I go to my hardware store here and they go, "Are you over 55?" And I go, "Yeah." And they go, "Okay, you want a senior discount? Or we'll give you a senior discount." I say, "Don't give me a senior discount. I want you guys here next year." I tell that to my mechanic. He tries to not charge me for oil changes. I'm like, "No, charge me your normal charge for an oil change. I want you here next year." It's just, and I want people to extend that same courtesy to me. They don't. People want me to work for, I'm teaching for free right now. But I don't mind paying for stuff because that's how it works. If you don't pay for stuff, it's not going to be there. You're going to be like, "What happened to the Guitar Center? What happened to Sam Ash?" Well, that's because every time you went in there, you tried to get something for, you tried to only make $2 on the guitar sale or something. So, oh, you got an ad? That's funny. Sorry about that. I guess there's an ad every 30 minutes. Yeah, so you're all going to get ads right about now, unless you have ad block. And then I don't make anything from you. Thank you, Bruce, for paying me. Okay, so again with the scales, first finger, third finger, fourth finger, but it's 5, 7, 8, and then 5, 7. So that's the first 5 notes there, A, B, C, D, E. And then here's the F sharp right here. So we go down to the 4th fret and we go 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7. I like this particular version of the A Dorian scale because it's fairly symmetrical. You have this the 6-note cluster here that is the same. triplet twice, the same 3-note pattern twice. And then you go up a fret and you do this one that's basically first finger, third finger, fourth finger, and it does that one twice. So again, so we did 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, and then 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8. And you could turn ad block off when you watch my videos. You know, I'm very stingy with ads. So for years since COVID started, when I would do these live streams, I didn't have any control over when the ads were. And so I would go to the live stream, like I'd have to remember to go 4 or 5 days later and delete all the ads, because they would literally put an ad in every 5 minutes. And when they do that, when YouTube does that, they are asking for people to do the ad block thing. They're trying to get people to buy a subscription or pay the $15 a month to have ad-free YouTube. But ultimately what they're doing with most people are like, I'm not going to spend $15. I'll just do ad block because it's free. And so, but what I would go back and delete all the ads and put one every 30 minutes. And now it has a setting where it automatically puts them in 30 minutes. It allows me to choose how often I'm going to have ads, unless I do some copyrighted thing. And I may get a copyright strike for that little bit of, I won't get a strike. I'll just have them take it out. So if you heard a little like gap where it went away, that's because I was playing music. So, what's this? Oh, okay. Yeah, and if you may have seen, if you watch Hacks, the TV show Hacks, you may have seen me. I don't know what I'm looking for here. Okay. Boop. All right. So, let's see. Don't need that. Don't need that. Got a lot of windows open. Don't need that. All right. That. Nope. Don't need that. No. Dang, I have a lot of stuff. Okay, leave that open. Okay. I have a lot of windows open. All right, so yeah. So actually, Holly, I make more money from you than people that watch the ads. YouTube Premium views, it pays higher. Okay. So, and thank you. So the A Dorian, again, it's a G major scale that you start on A. And I prefer you to think of it as an A scale. If you look at it as it lays out, you can see the A minor pentatonic right there. Okay? What I want to do is I want to create 2 new scales. And we can take like a little piece of this scale. Let's start with the pinky here on the 7th fret. Okay? And we're going to go to there. And we can go up to there too if we want to get that, give us more melodic options. But if we play A and then B here, 4th fret, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A. Then I'm playing a 1 octave A Dorian scale. Another way we could play, I like this one, so let's try this one. First finger on the 7th fret. Now we're going from the first finger on the 4th fret. We're going to go 7th fret. So 7, 9, 10 on the 4th string. And then we're going to go 7, 9. So 7, 9, 10, 7, 9. And then 7, 8, 10. And if we want, we got we can keep going. In fact, these top 2 strings are the same fingering. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. I'm talking about my fingers here. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. Fret-wise, it's 7, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10. Okay? But I want you to think about, as we play it this time now, I want to call out the letter names. Pretty darn easy. It's almost the alphabet with an F and sharp instead of an F, okay? A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, and if you want, E. Backwards, E, D, B, sorry, C, B, A, G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A. okay? And whenever you start to solo, I always just recommend almost play one note. Try to make that note say something. Mess around with rhythm. Mess around with rhythmic variations that you will eventually turn into melodic ideas, because almost want to have some rhythmic ideas, some rhythmic patterns that you can tie into when you start adding notes to it, so that you're not just playing straight eighth notes. See, that's boring with all those notes, but it's especially boring if I'm just playing one note. Now for a rhythm part, that's fine. But obviously a solo, that would be the world's most boring solo. But if you... Right, Niles Rogers, yep. Okay, now, so again, let's go with these notes one more time. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A. Fret-wise, 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 7, 8, 10. Okay, we're going to create two new scales, but it's going to be like sculpture. We're going to reduce these scales. Okay, we're going to take away one note from the scale to create a new scale and another note from the scale. Okay, so check this out. If you look over here, right there, okay, you can see that there's an A and a C in both of these chords. Okay, cool. So we want to keep the A's and C's. All right, the first chord, the first scale has an E, okay, and then the other chord has a D. We can keep both of those. We're good with those. Those don't need to go anywhere. The E is the fifth. I'm sorry, it's the fifth of the A minor, and it's the second of the D. Those are both totally fine notes. The D is the fourth of A minor, but because it's a minor chord, the fourth doesn't create the same tension as if it was major. You know, if I played the D over an A major chord, it would create that rub. But because it's minor, it just creates a pentatonic sound. All right, and I like that sound. So the D works over the A minor. It's fine. You can maybe want to go down to C or go up to E or something, resolve it in some way. But the D works over the A minor, no problem. Okay, and the E totally works over the D7. It's that ninth. You know, it sounds great over the D. We can totally utilize that, so we don't need to be afraid of that. But what I want to do is for the A minor 7 chord, okay, I want to create kind of a 6-note hybrid. All right, let me go here. Okay. So for the A minor 7 chord, A minor 7, let me call this A minor 7 6-note scale. Can we get that in there? Yeah, we can. Okay. And this is going to be A, B, C, D, E, G, A. All right? Put the full octave. I put the octave in there. But and then, so we eliminated the F sharp. So we're... Now, the F sharp works. It's fine. But what I want to do is I want to save that F sharp so when we get to the D7 chord, we have something new. We have something interesting or different about how we approached the D7 chord to how we approach the A7 chord, even though they're both in the same, or the A minor 7 chord, they're both in the same key. They're both in the key of G. One's the 2 chord, the A minor is the 2 chord, and the other one's the 5 chord, the D7 chord. and they're both key G, and you can go crazy with A Dorian or A minor or A blues or whatever, G major, all that technically works. But what you want to do is you want to have some tools that will allow you melodically maybe to do something that will help support the chord change and make the chord change a little bit more obvious. All right. So for the A minor 7, the 6-note scale is going to be that, and then for the D7, the D7 6-note scale, we'll get rid of the G and put the F sharp back. Okay. So it's going to be this 6-note scale: A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and an A. All right. We're gonna save ourselves. We're not going to use that. So like, for example, I'm just going to vamp here. Let's see. Okay, so it's just the A minor chord. We go A, B, C, D, E. Then we're going to skip this first finger note here, this F sharp, and go to the second finger. Okay. So in the 7th position, first finger, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4. So it's basically just an A minor pentatonic, which is 5 notes, okay, with a B added. So that creates the 6th note. The diatonic scale, the A Dorian, is a 7-note scale. So at this point, you don't really know if it's a Dorian scale. I mean, if we're in A Dorian or if we're in A minor, because we don't have the F. It could be A minor, which sounds weird. A Dorian, and there's nothing wrong with that F sharp. Creates kind of this major 6. I'm just playing chromatic scales. I'm playing every note. And if you can play any note as long as you don't sit on some of the notes. B flat doesn't want to be sat on, but as a passing tone, it totally works. But we're not talking about chromatic scales. We're talking about these kind of brand new, created, hybrid 6-note scale. Hey, Jan, what's going on? Thank you, Sam. Smash that like button. You can add that blues note in there too, but that B note is the blues note. I love that. Do that. Play the flat 5, the E flat here. So I'm at this, what is that, 8th fret of this 3rd string to the 7th fret, and that's our 4. So flat 5 to 4 to the 3rd to the 9th. Woo! You're expecting to hear it, right? That's great, but check out this. Woo! Sitting on those seconds. You can even go to the A down here and then hit that B on top. Yeah, hammer on. No, well, okay, so I'll do it like on the blues note. I'll often pull it off. So, but when I did that chromatic thing, I was plucking every note. So that's something you can practice right there. A lot of times I'll use chromatic scales to warm up, and I still can't play them like I want to play them. Chromatic scales are kind of hard. It's 4 notes per string, generally. So like if you want to play a C chromatic scale starting on C here at the 8th fret, you go every note there, and then you go down a fret and do it again, and down a fret and do it again, down a fret, do it again. And then here when you go from the G string to the B string, you don't go down a fret, you just stay at the same fret. And then you go down a fret, And if you just go like that, you'll end up on a B note, which is kind of cool. It's kind of you're in down the major 7th. But with chromatic scales, good portion of the notes, 3 or 4 of those notes are not very good notes if you sit on them. But going through them, using them as a passing note, you can even do it like this. You can go, what's his name? Django Reinhardt would do that. Try to get that so you can play. Let's see. So, also, heads up, I don't do this very often. Check out the TV show if you haven't, Palm Royale on Apple TV, Apple Plus. If you have Apple Plus, check it out. As I worked on that. The music's phenomenal. In fact, personally, and I know that you're going like, well, of course you think this is true because you did the music, you worked on it. I didn't write the music, I just played guitar on it. But the baritone electric, like some tremolo baritone electric, some flamenco guitar, some steel string, bossa nova guitar, and some electric jazz stuff. But the music is really, I feel like I'm still getting through the episodes. I think I'm through 6 episodes. I'm not sure. Hopefully they'll pick it up again. That would be great. But I'm trying to. The plot, actually every episode it feels like it's getting a little bit better and more interesting. And Carol Burnett, who I actually know, I've met Carol Burnett several times because one of our best friends was her personal assistant for about, I don't know, maybe 7-8 years, maybe longer, back in the 80s and 90s. So we met Carol a couple times. We went to her show. I told you the story about us having all her photo albums in our house, which made me insanely nervous. All of her memories were in our house. But yeah, so Kathy, when you do that, I'm doing pure alternating picking. And you probably want to practice up and down, but it's actually a good thing to practice little bursts. And I'm turning my pick like at a 45-degree angle, so I'm not getting this kind of flappy sound. It gets a more round tone if you turn your pick a little bit. Some picks like this super thick 3.5 millimeter Django pick is kind of designed that way. Because it already has that sound because the tip is kind of turned. And then don't take your fingers too far off the fretboard. You want to leave your fingers really close to the fretboard. But also, one of the things I did was I didn't do a pure chromatic thing. I was just trying to get from A to A. I skipped one note. I didn't play the C sharp. And descending, I'm starting with an upstroke. But George Benson would do that a lot too. He'll take like this E minor, the A minor chord. So again, we're still vamping on the A minor. He would start on a pretty note like that B note, which is that ninth. He would fall off of something like that. Okay, but that's not technically what we're talking about here. We're talking about just playing the A Dorian scale, but skipping that F sharp. And we did that. Okay, now let's play all we do over the D7 chord. And again, I've grabbed this little snippet of the scale right here. Let's go over it again. The A Dorian scale was 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 7, 8, 10. Or first finger, third finger, fourth finger, first, third, 1, 2, 4. 4, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 4, 3, 1. That's all scale. Then we got rid of the F sharp, which was the 6th note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get rid of that one, skip that one, and go to the 7th note. And that was over the A minor. And that was our kind of little 6-note scale. Okay, it was a little, maybe, I don't know, I would call it simpler than a 7-note scale. But we took away that F sharp, which was the minor 6th, which is a great note over that 13th over the A minor. But we're going to remove it so we have a note that we can change to, a scale that we can change to when we get to the 5 chord. And so here's what that scale is. Pretty darn easy. It's almost identical. Same 5 notes to start out with, A, B, C, D, E, and then we're just going to go F sharp to A. We're not going to play the G. And right away you can hear it. It sounds kind of cool. It's like, wait, what? It's not quite pentatonic. It's got this weird kind of sound to it. But over the D7. It's got this little pentatonic shape right here. Hopefully you can hear the jam track. Turn me down a little bit. Yeah, we went to Carol Burnett's show a couple times, met her afterwards and before, went to her house. Super nice lady, the sweetest lady. Okay, now, so then the key is to combine these two. So hopefully you're kind of playing around with this. Play that F sharp and that D. And you can add that. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Little plug here. Palm Royale. It's takes place in the 60s, 68, 69, I think. There's so the music was so fun to play because they wanted kind of a Henry Mancini vibe, so it was, you know, jazz combo, big band, full orchestra, the whole bit. And I did a lot of I played on the theme, so if you listen to the theme, I can pull up the theme. I can't play it for you, but I can pull up the YouTube and then send you the link. Put the link in there that you can listen to. Palm Royale theme. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So this is the opening sequence. I don't really hear my guitar in there. I mean, it's there. I just did a video of him, or just did a video of me playing this for Jeff, the composer, so he can do a little video thing. So, but you get the sense, the music for the show. It's just fun. Very kind of James Bondy at moments. There's definitely some intrigue going on. There's a whole lot of stuff going on in the show. It's layers of stuff, layers on top of layers. But it definitely, the music alone, I mean, the other thing you could do is you could totally, if you just put the music on your playlist on like Spotify, because you can listen to the whole soundtrack on, you know, they have a lot of soundtrack stuff up there. And then the other thing you could check out is my friend Miles, the kid Miles Wesley. We have a new song out, and you can check that out, and it's not too weird. It's called Always. A lot of guitars. I did a lot of guitars on this. So let me see. Here's the song. It doesn't have many views on YouTube, but we're trying to get the spins up on Spotify and everything for his sake. You know, these young artists, they really want to see number count up. So I don't know. It's a pretty. It's very. I should probably do like a playing how I played it. I have all the tracks. So I could probably do that. That would be a good video to do. where I go over everything that I did on Always. But that would be kind of fun. So, I'm always looking for things to do videos about. And if it helps promote his video or his song, I'm a writer on it, so technically I make money if you listen to it on Spotify too. So we'll get it up into the billions of spins, and then we'll be good. So it kind of has to be in that range for it to actually start to make real money. No. I mean, I think Home to Mama's got a couple 100 million spins, and I've made some money off of that. That song's been out for a while now, so if I added up all the royalties from that song, I wish I'd gotten, I should have gotten producer points, but I didn't. The head of A&R, she wouldn't give it to me. So, like, okay, whatever. She holds all the cards. Oh, shoot, do they? You're right, they do. Did the first one at least go to the... That's weird, huh? Oh, okay, so let me actually click on the video.
What?
All right, now let me grab it. And I should be able to tell, paste, if it's the same one. No, it's definitely different. So I'll delete this one. Remove. Boop. Message retracted. But yeah, it's a fun guitar, very strong guitar based vibe. Did I use a weird tuning? I don't remember. Well, I'll find out when I listen to the tracks and go, what did I do? How did I do this? I'll do that before I do the video. I won't start the video like, okay, wait, how did I play this again? I'll try to do a little research so I can remember. Hey, Unread, play something. Oh, okay. Unreal Magnum. Okay, so here's the D7 again. I'm going to play the D7. This is just the... No, actually, I'm going to do both now. Here's the A minor 7. Okay, A minor 7 to D7. All right, so the scale we're going to use over the A minor 7, and it's 2 bars of each. 1, 2, 3, 4 at 90 BPM. 2, 3, 4. So you got time to kind of change the scale and to kind of get it going. So here's the first scale. Now, here's what I want you to do. Let's just do this. Let's just go G, A, G, A, G, A, G, A, G, A. Just do a bunch of GAs, okay? And then go, when it changes and hopefully you can hear the track well enough that you can hear where it changes to D7. I mean, the bass, I've got the bottom rolled off so we don't distort. But we go to the F sharp. So just do that with me. Here we go. G, A. That's the only change we're making. Just play G. F sharp. If you're a one-finger guitar player, you could do this. It's all about playing something. We're talking about soloing. So when you're soloing, the focus is on you. And you got to say something. It's like if somebody, like you're having a conversation with a group of people, there's 5 people in a circle and you're talking, you're sitting at dinner and you're having dinner, and I'm talking to Thomas Keller, talking to him about something I know nothing about. You're talking to somebody and they look at you and it's your turn to talk. You don't just go, blah, 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 blah. You try to say something worth listening to. Not like purple banana, green guitar, yellow coffee cup. No, that's not what That's not what soloing is about. Soloing is about saying something. So I'm trying to give you a tool where you can helps you say something that then, and what says something is tension and release, right? And we talk about that all the time. So if I create a little tension and I release it, it holds people's attention. Tension holds attention. Okay, you can you can quote me on that. All right, so again, here's the picture from Saturday's wedding. Me and my wife sitting there. There's the wedding. Nobody would sit next to us. No, actually, the kids were supposed to sit next to us, or my daughter was supposed to sit next to us, but they didn't. They didn't know. I like playing skipping the string. Hard to do, but sounds cool though. I could add the blues note. Exactly, Gary. I'm a master chef. Look at that. C major 7 sounds great. Kathy, and just making that little change, it makes it sound like you know what you're doing. Making that little change, saving that F sharp for the D chord, saving that G for the A minor chord, it makes you sound like you're a little bit more thought out about what you're playing. And people aren't going, oh, he's changing scales. No, people are thinking, oh, I like this. This is interesting. But if you just played the Dorian scale, and that would work, and you might actually skip that F sharp as you're noodling through the scale just naturally, and you might naturally skip that G natural over the D7 chord. All that may happen naturally, but what I'm trying to say is you can, just kind of intentionally eliminate a note in the scale, and you can do this throughout the whole scale. Add the F sharp in and take out the G. I chose this position because I felt like it was the best way to visualize the change with the G to the F sharp thing. But yeah, it definitely sounds kind of cool. And did I upload a jam track of this up to the Discord of those two chords? Does anybody know if I did that? Somebody check and see if I uploaded. Otherwise, if not, I will loop this right now and bounce it and put it in the Discord so you can practice over these two chord changes. Because I think it's again, the 2-5 chord progression is the most common chord progression in jazz. Now the problem is they tend to go by really quick, or they tend to be like constantly changing keys. You make a or whatever, but that it can happen really fast, and so you're like just kind of trying to keep up with like all the 2-5s everywhere, and but a lot of times, and like I said with George Benson, he likes to solo over a kind of a relaxed 2-5 progression where it doesn't ever go to the 1, and that And the other thing is, if I play the kind of the truncated A Dorian scale over the A minor chord, where I take out that F sharp, okay? You can hear it. I'm imagining the progression in my head. You don't hear it. I'm hearing it right now. I'm pretending to hear it. And you can hear when the chord changes based on how I play. Check it out. Now, I didn't completely avoid the F sharp and the G sharp at the different times, but I definitely featured the D sharp when I went to the D chord. Because again, or the F sharp when I went to the D chord, because the F sharp is the third, really literally the most important note in the D7 chord. More important than the root, more important than D. The third is the most important note in any chord because it tells you if it's a major or minor chord. And then from there, the next most important note is the seventh. And what do we call these? The third and the seventh are the guide tones. I can play just the guide tones, and you will know. You can hear it. I'm not playing an A or a D. No A there. Because why? Because the bass player is going to be playing A. So once a bass player comes in, he's got the roots covered, so you don't even need to play the roots, the A's and the D's over the A's and A and D chords. If you know, for the simplest of rhythms, but that's the thing. I can sit here and go. So I'm playing this C note here and the G note, and those are the guide tones of the A minor 7, and then the C and the F sharp are the guide tones. Again, that tritone there is the guide tones of the D7 chord. You can just play the top two strings. Okay. Oh no, yeah, I'm not talking about PDFs. I'm talking about MP3s. Okay, so what did I? Hold on, let me see. I think I did. Let me look real quick. So wait, put a jam track up in the my favorite backing track. Oh, okay. A couple weeks ago. Oh, okay. Oh, you put this one in. Thank you so much, Holly. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I didn't. I could upload it to YouTube, but I don't want to overload YouTube with jam tracks too often. But I did do that one where my last one, I actually showed my hands playing. So I could do another one of those now. It's been a while, so I could do another one of those too. So I've got ideas. So let's see. You gotta be careful. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, here we are. General chit chat. Oh, Tom's lesson PDF. Okay, so, I see those scales. Yeah, you're right. I put those scales in there, didn't I? Okay, there's the slow progression for that. There's the A minor jam. Okay. All right. Okay, and you said you put it in guitar jam tracks. Where's that? Okay, so I'll after we're done, I'll create a little A minor 7 to D7 jam track for you. But then I probably will do a video of it. Just out of curiosity, how's that video doing that I did? Let's see, what else is in here? Okay, so that's not. Yeah, so I got the kind of the, okay, I see. Oh, yeah, and then the A7 to D7 one is my video that is a jam track. So I didn't actually bounce a jam track. The jam track I bounced from Logic was the Beatles one. That one, so the pop one. You're right. So, oh, nice. I see the Django music there, Jan. Thank you. Very good, very fun. Okay, now, all right, so let me close that window now so it doesn't beep at me. And then, okay, I watched this. Boy, I have a lot of videos up. I think I watched this, yeah. Mason mentioned about interviewing me for his YouTube channel. I'm like, he just did Lee Ritenour. He did, you know, I don't know. I just don't. You know, he's doing Larry Carlton now. So we'll see what happens. But okay. So that was the thing I wanted to show you today. And let me see if I can, what's this? Let me go back here and see what happens. What is this? See, that changes too fast. See, I like this one here. So this one. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go boom. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go cut. Let's see. Is it this button? Yeah. All right. I got to mute this. Now, do I have anything out here? I have something there. Let me mute that. All right. Sorry. I'm just going to create a quick jam track here. And basically what I'm doing is I'm just looping the same thing over and over again. So this is not going to be anything particularly interesting. You know what? I'm going to copy this. Okay. So, and then I think, where's the drum set? Hear that click? So I'll do like a little count off. So we go. So that'll be our count off. All right. So I'll do that. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm gonna grab these and I'm gonna literally loop them for 10 minutes. That's a lot of the same two chords. Let's see, how far do I have to go to get to 10 minutes? So that's 25 minutes, and I go to here, and that's 32 minutes. Okay, so I gotta go a little further. I probably got to go further than that. We said 20, 25. There's 36. Okay, so that's going to be, and then the only thing I want to do is I'll put a button on it, meaning the last chord. All right. So what I'll do here is copy, paste, no, up here, and then turn off the loop. Just hit this last chord. Boop. And I grab this. So I'm grabbing that last chord, and so it'll go like this. Okay, now I need the bass to do that. I'll go like this. See what happens. Okay, there's our root. All right. Let me put a little drum hit on there. So like, what should I do? Like, just like a kick and cymbal. Okay. So kick and snare, kick and cymbal. I don't need to hold it down. With drum hits, you don't need to hold, like, it's not like a Rhodes. Like if I take a Rhodes I take my finger off, it stops like a Rhodes would, right? But if I play a note and hold it down, it keeps ringing out, and that's what I created. With the drums, though, you don't have to do that. Like if I hit a cymbal, can't really hear that. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Yeah. So then the end sounds like this. Right? All right. Believe it or not, I'm going to bounce this right now. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So I'm going to highlight this and go like this and see. All right. Oh, I got to turn off. I'm going to turn off the click though. Hey, Richard. And with these new scales, you don't have to not play the G over the D chord, and you don't have to not play the F sharp over the A chord. They're totally fair game, but I would maybe treat them more like a little grace note kind of thing. I wouldn't sit on them. That way you say, you know, I'm just maybe slide into the G from the F sharp. Hammering on the G. Okay, so all right, let me bounce this as an MP3, and then I'll just upload it to. I bounce like this. No, bounce like that. MP3. All right, let's name it. A minor 7 to D7 jam. And like I said, I'll probably do this with me jamming along with it and filming like I did before, because I think that would come in. I think that could literally kind of come in handy. All right, so I need to go to my desktop and go to there. And yeah, so there we go. Okay, I'll take a second, and then I'll also take a second to upload it to the. Going back to Discord. Isn't this exciting television? Oh my God, it's funny. I didn't have to give a. I didn't have to do a toast last night, which is fine. Okay, so I'm going to put it under Tom's Lessons PDFs kind of thing, okay? I think it's done. I'm just going to pull it up real quick, make sure it's okay. Wait, where did it go? Oh, is it still doing it? Oh, it's still doing it. Like, where is it? It's still doing it. So, but this is the kind of thing that you can do for any chord progression. Like, for example, when we did the A7 to, I gotta go to this track. I don't think it's gonna let me play. But we went to A7 to D7. You could avoid, when you're playing over the A7, you could totally avoid that F sharp. And when you're playing, well, you definitely avoid the C sharp when you play over the D7. But, you know, you could play that A Mixolydian scale without the F sharp, so when you got to the D7 chord, you had a cool weapon that people hadn't heard in 2 bars, you know, or however long it was. All right, it's almost done. Almost done. Now it's converting to an MP3. It's telling me everything it's doing. It doesn't take real time. It bounces faster than real time, which is nice. I don't know if Pro Tools has changed that. Pro Tools used to only bounce in real time. So if you had a 5-minute song, it would take 5 minutes for it to. Oh, it's done. Okay, so pedal this off. Let me drag it over there. So get ready. Here we go. Let me just make sure it's okay. 11 minutes and 23 seconds. So we got a long time. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do it again. You know why? I'm going to turn off the EQ curve. It'll sound much better. So I'm going to bounce again. And it's going to take a minute, but because I have, to keep it from distorting the microphone here, I have all the bottom end rolled off. So the kick drum is like... But now the kick drum, well, I have everything, it's bouncing, so I can't play it. But now the kick drum would be like distorting, so in the bass too. So I just turned that, I forgot about that. It was like, yeah, I don't want it to be super anemic when you're trying to solo over it. So I don't think it'll distort your picture. Okay, so we'll go back to here. Here's the wedding from Saturday. Beautiful weather in Napa. It was 80 degrees, perfect. I'm in a suit. It was a good time was had by all. Good time was had by all. Let's see. What's new going on? Richard is in the house. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the tone, I actually created that tone recently. I call it Adam Levy because we were talking. I was watching an Adam Levy video and I was digging his tone. And I was like, well, let me create a tone, and I kind of saved it. So I have it now if I want. But it's maybe a little bit of hair on it, a little bit of gain. It's basically a clean amp with just a smidge of gain and some reverb. What else is on here? It says there's delay is on, but it's probably minimalistic. And I think I rolled off the top end a little bit so it's not too bright. So it kind of has a pseudo jazzy vibe to it, but there's a lot of verb on it. There's a lot of verb, which if I were to track this, I'd probably turn it down ultimately. But for here, it's just kind of, reverb is kind of a little bit inspiring. It kind of helps you hide some of your inconsistencies. Okay. Let me give, let's see. Can I, oh yeah, copy. I just shared with a friend whose son is at the CIA in New York, studying there. So Doug was a groomsman in my wedding 37 years ago. Doug and I became very good friends when we had adjacent teaching studios in Carmel, Indiana. And he's like still one of the most monster players I know. I don't know if he's joined yet. I'm not trying to butter him up. I just was like, the guy is a freaking beast on the guitar. Can do the whole Alan Holdsworth thing. And it's like, it's so out of my brain can't conceptualize it. Okay, so that track is done. Let me just listen to make sure it's done. Nothing went wrong. 11:23. It's funny that the bottom end is so big. It sounds so funny. I'm like, oh man, there's so much bottom end. Okay, now see, I got to click back on and get rid of that bottom end on here. But all right, so I'm dragging this. Where did I put that? Okay, there we are. All right, now I got to open this window and close that window. Okay, so I'm dragging the jam track over to the Discord so you guys can jam on it. It's 11 minutes long. It's this progression I've been playing on, and you can practice doing those chords that are. We'll see. Okay, I can shut that. All right, go. Nope, not there. I want the OBS. Okay, first I want the Google Chrome and then OBS. I like it in that order. Okay, so So that's basically what I gave you, and I can bottom ends roll off again. I always like to, if I'm going to practice, I always like to have a drum groove, even though this is a really super duper lame drum groove. I'd like to have something that's kind of got a little feel to it. So when I'm, okay, so over the A minor again, avoid the F sharp, and then over the D7, avoid the G. One of the funniest messages I ever got, I don't know if Doug is on, but he sent me a video that his wife took. I think she may have TikToked it or something. And it was like, when my husband is on hold, and she comes around the corner and he's sitting in his office and he's on hold and the music's playing and it's the same stupid loop over and over again. And he's like shredding over it. Like he's doing these crazy Alan Holdsworth scales over this really lame on hold music track. It was the funniest thing I ever saw. And then he looks, he sees that she sees him and he laughs, and his laugh, he's got the best laugh. I love that guy. He took me to a phenomenal restaurant in Indianapolis, Ocean Prime, and we had the best time. That's most I've ever drank, and I was glad I wasn't driving. But I had oysters for the first time and loved it. I had oysters Saturday night, and they were great. Everything at that. Oh my gosh, they had just billions of shrimp. It was so much food. Ah, man. Okay, so again. I'm trying to stick to the lesson I'm teaching you, which is to avoid the F sharp and avoid the G on the different chords. So. That's for Kathy, the chromatics. But like if I start over the A minor, you got to find the landing note. You got to find a note that's gonna I could end on that G sharp, which is not one of our notes, but that G sharp creates a really cool, kind of a James Bondy, right? Especially if we add the ninth in there. It's like we get this whole, get that minor ninth with a major seventh chord. But if I go from So I'm basically just playing 4 notes on every string, and I'm going down purely chromatic. Not easy. Like I said, I need to sit down and just... And I'm starting with an upstroke. Normally I would say pure alternating, but with chromatics I feel like descending chromatics. I can't seem to get the 2 hands lined up. But listen to it in the context. Yeah, this. Right there, I went from. Wait, I go from the. Went from the D. It's actually a really, really good scale for trying to get the two hands to work together and to be in sync. So, you know, I do tend to, when I'm just sitting, you know, if I've got the guitar off, it's funny if you watch that Mason, the Vertex Effects YouTube video channel, and you watch his interview with Lee Ritenour, he's doing this, he's just doing scales the whole time. Kind of keeping his hands going, keeping his fingers limber. I mean, he's got an intense. He and Pat Metheny both have really intense warm-up routines before they get on stage or whatever. But I think they were at Lee Ritenour's house. I think he just was noodling because he wanted to have something in his hands. Like he didn't want to just be sitting there. You know, it's like when the one time I had to get up and lead worship without a guitar in my hands, and I felt so naked. Just so naked, standing up there with a microphone and I didn't even have a stance I hold on to. I had to it was awful. But it was something happened that I had to get up there fast. I didn't have time to grab my guitar. So, anyway, Doug replied over here. He's probably working. I'm shouting out to him. I'm shouting out to you. So, yeah, that's crazy to just be. And I was thinking of Doug last night because he's a real foodie. Like I said, he took me to that really nice place in Indianapolis. And he knew who Thomas Keller was. And he knows who my in-law is because his son goes to the college that my in-law is the president of. So he knows who Tim Ryan is, but all right. And like I said, you could just do A minor blues over this too. You want to really hit that F sharp though. I mean, the pure pentatonic doesn't have the F sharp in it, right? And the B.B. King pentatonic does. That minor 6 pentatonic does. And so if you kind of create your own hybrid scales as you go, doing like A minor pentatonic, A minor 6 pentatonic, and A minor blues, and A minor blues with the 6. Watch. So what I'm doing there is I'm playing the B.B. King scale, the A minor 6 pentatonic, but I'm adding the blues note in there. Finger memory. You guys aren't saying much. Are you all still there? Yeah, you're mostly still there. You're starting to. We're down to 24 viewers now. We peaked though at 32. That's pretty good. 30, 31, 30, 32, something like that. So if you want to check out some stuff, if you want to check out some stuff that I'm working on, check out those 2 links I posted. Scroll up in the video for those. You can check out the TV show Palm Royale on Apple Plus. Palm Royale, Royal, basically Royal with an E, and it's a kind of a late 60s period piece. So the music is phenomenal, It was so fun to work on, and I'm hoping there's a season 2 we can do it again. I'm actually going to do an event for Apple for the music, and we're going to do it at at a recording studio. It's going to be, cocktails, that kind of thing. Because the Emmys are coming up, and so they got to do a promotion for it. So I'm going out I'm going to play on that. Probably have to bring a bunch of guitars, but that's okay. And let's see what else is going on. And then the Always song by, I'm always working on things. I just worked on a movie. I don't know what it's called. A couple movies I've just worked on. I'm not sure what they're called. I have to look at my music hard drive to see. And then also the Exorcist Files. So the podcast, the Exorcist Files, writing music for season 2. So if you want to check that out, it's fun. It's not any guitar. It's all keyboards and creepy stuff. So I'm doing a lot of, well, I would probably be doing like Phrygian scales. But yeah, it's a lot of Vamp kind of things, like just under talking. It's all talking. It's a podcast, so there's just nonstop talking. But there's actors acting out some of these exorcisms and the stories leading up to the exorcisms. The first episode of season 1, they talked about a couple that got married and couldn't have a baby, and then she started doing some crazy things to try to get pregnant, and she started fixing weird things. So it's weird, but they're telling the story. So while they're telling the story, it's like it's not all scary. So you don't need all scary music all the time. There needs to be music where it's just kind of like, doom, doom, So a lot of that kind of stuff. A lot of pedal, eighth note kind of things. But then there's moments where you want something happening, and so that's what Jim and I are working on. So what else am I working on? Like I said, I have to look at my hard drives to see what's going on. Oh, I did some Apex stuff. So everybody take a sip. Apex Legends. I did season. What were we working on? Yeah, season 21. Yeah, season 21, and yeah, a bunch of just different stuff. Alter, yeah, Alter and What If is what they're called, I guess. So, yeah, the mixing and matching scales, Richard, is it's just a way to give you a tool so that you're not falling into, it gets you out of some ruts, and it gives your audience a clue that you kind of know what you're doing. So, take a sip. I think Brad and I are getting lunch today. Brad, you're not on, are you? Brad and I are going to go get some food. I told him we were going to go to a one restaurant, and then I went there a couple Mondays ago and it was closed. I'm like, oh shoot, okay, well we can't go to that restaurant. We'll have to go somewhere else. My treat. He bought last time, so. But yeah, so let's see what else is going on. Yeah, so there's a lot of different scales you can do over that progression. And here's the thing that, if you get comfortable with these different scales over the two different chords, the 2/5, you can get to the point where when they're going by fast and changing keys, and I don't mean insanely fast, I don't mean, like necessarily, oh shoot, yeah, I don't necessarily mean like, I mean, soloing over that is silly. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Actually, soloing over that, 2/5s and descending, I would probably just go. Just play chromatics. That's what bass players do when they get lost. They're like, boom, boom, like. Just start playing chromatics until they find where they are. This is funny. I've seen bass players do that a million times. But yeah, if you got really good at like navigating. Oh no. you might find some. You might find that you can use some of those tools even when the 2 5s go by a lot faster than this. Because right here I've got 90 BPM A minor for 2 bars. Now the D7. But if they were going by a lot faster, and that's, I could do a video, or I could do I could do it, hold on a second. They're right here. I think this is twice as fast. So if I go here. Oh, see that one? Weird. Okay, so that one changes. What? So wait, what? Yeah. So you can even, I mean, that's kind of a progress. I could do a video of that. That might not be a bad. Yeah, let me write this down. Dang it! I keep coming up with ideas, and I'm like, oh, I should. Okay, so what I could do is I could do A minor 7. For 2 bars, then D7 for 2 bars, and let that happen for a while, right? And then go to A minor 7 for 1 bar, and do that for a while, D7 for 1 bar, right? And then go to A minor 7, oops, A minor 7, for 2 beats, then D7 for 2 beats. And then technically, I guess I could do, so the whole thing could be 10, 12, 13 minutes long. I go A minor 7 for 1 beat, and D7 for 1 beat. So it would be basically boom. Oh, it would be like, that might not make much sense. That would be really weird to play over. But like you could do 2 beats. And here's the thing. The busier the progression is, the more you generally tend to simplify what you're playing over it. So if it was just like, I probably wouldn't be thinking about, oh, I'll do these 2 6-note scales. I might not have enough time to play 6 notes. So I might just, at that point, start reverting to blues. And that's a totally legitimate chord progression. 2 beats each, 1 beat each. Sounds more like a bebop kind of thing. It sounds like a record is skipping. But yeah, I could do 2 bars, 1 bar, and 2 beats of that, and that would be a great jam track, I think, because you get you can get comfortable, and then it makes you uncomfortable, and then you get comfortable, and then I make you uncomfortable again. So that might be worth looking into. Maybe I'll do that. I gotta save this now. See. Idea. Oops, that's not how you spell idea. Okay. All right. I should probably get going. I got some work to do, but great to have you all here. Thank you. Hey, Scott, what's going on? I appreciate it. Enjoy your company. I enjoy everybody hanging out with me. And next Monday, I'm planning on it, Lord willing. If I'm still kicking it. So we'll probably keep talking on this. Maybe next Monday we'll talk. Oh, nice. Oh, Boulder. Boulder's a great city. I love Boulder. Great food. I got offered a job in Boulder back in the early 2000s. Turned it down. A church offered me a worship leading job there. I was glad I turned it down. It turned out it would have been a really difficult thing, and I would have left California, and I would not have been able to come back to California. So yeah, we had a really good situation in Pasadena where we were managing the apartment building, so we were living rent free. And if I left for 6 months, there was no way that job was still going to be available. So yeah, I'll tell Brad you all said hi, and yeah, we may just get something to eat and come back and sit by the pool or something. I don't know. I'm not sure what we'll do. I'm not, because my ears are so fried, sitting in a loud restaurant is not the best. I hate, both of the meals, like the rehearsal dinner was outside, and that's fine. Outside's fine. And the wedding dinner was outside. Let's see if I can... Anyway, but yeah, here was the wedding. Aw. That's a great picture of Beth and I, though. So, all right, everybody. God bless you all. I'm going to remove this, though. Image 44. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to remove that. Yes. And then we'll hang out next Monday and probably talk more about this. Feel free. I say this and then I don't check it, but you know what? While I'm here, let me do this. While I'm thinking about it, Discord. Let me go to the Discord and look and see, because there's like a tab there, questions for Tom, and it's like I really don't check it very often. I can check it when I'm live. You remind me. Let's see. Music events, questions about guitar, maybe. Okay. Let's see. Oh, questions are being answered by other people. You don't need me anymore. Oh, I see someone was asking something. Yeah, it's funny. Backpack. I think that I'm credited on that song by Bieber, but I don't remember working on it, and that's definitely not me on guitar. I mean, I don't think. It's funny. If it is, I don't remember doing it. Not that I ever got drunk or high or anything like that when I was working, but sometimes you do so many. It's like, hey, what were you doing? April 17th in 2012, I don't know. So, hey, Dandruff, what's good? Only silly people play asymmetrical music. Yeah, exactly. Let's see, what's up? Let's see. Oh, thank you. I got your information on it. It looks good at this point, so hopefully it's an easy build. I may even mention it to Brad at lunch if he's interested in maybe getting some for his store, but he would have to see it first. And then the other thing is, the issue of, now see, the design that you're coming up with now, I can't imagine anything would break on it. So, but anyway, okay. I will talk to you all later, and God bless you. Have a great week. This is the beginning of the week. Have a great one, and I will hopefully see you next Monday. Bye-bye.